Welcome back to TESL Ontario's YouTube channel. It's me, Celine, and I'm here with another TESL Ontario Perspective Series video. Today, we're going to talk about the top 5 things you can do to make your online teaching experience better for you as well as your learners. So let's get into it.
So it's been over a year since we've moved from our in-person physical classrooms to these online ones, and many of us are still here. While I'm sure we've all adapted beyond the basic needs of a laptop, a webcam, and high-speed internet, I wanted to know what else we could invest in so that we can improve our online teaching experience for ourselves and our students. So I spoke to colleagues from around the world, posted in some teacher Facebook and Reddit groups, and did some of my own internet research to find out the best things that teachers can invest in to do this. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a better idea of how you can take your online teaching classroom from looking like this, which is my current setup, to something a little bit more like this. Unfortunately, this video will not show you how to get a pool in your setup. So ranking in at number 5, we have subscription services. We've done a few reviews on this channel so far of subscription services, but I think that they're fantastic for more engaging lesson materials. What I mean is ESL Library and Lingua House, they offer ready-to-teach tailor-made lessons that are graded by different levels and thematically relevant to students. As a teacher, you save time, you save effort in preparing lessons, and you know that what you are going to be teaching your students works because it's been created by trained professionals. In that way, you provide an improved classroom experience. Many of these sites, like Teach This, a favorite among teachers who are prepping something and want something kinesthetic for their classrooms in person, are moving to digitize their material. I've seen this also with Lingua House, where you can actually share the screen with typable and editable PDFs for both of these subscription services. So they're user-friendly for an online classroom. Another one that kept popping up was ManyCam. So ManyCam is actually a website that gives you access to different backgrounds, similar to the ones that Zoom offers, but it also gives you more content in terms of digital props. I've seen these being used in those online ESL schools that cater towards more children overseas, but I think that there is a time and a place for them in all classrooms. And finally, subscription services are great for better organization. We've recently done a review on BubbleUp, but even subscribing to Google Drive and sharing that file with your students will help them become better organized. In this sense, if for whatever reason they're missing a handout or they're missing a worksheet, there's one place that they can go to so that things don't get lost in translation or lost in an email trail. Next, we have lighting. Some of us are blessed to have wonderful windows in front of us that give us natural light that make us look like superstars, but it's not always possible, especially for those of us that teach at night. Investing in a ring light can really help to fix this problem. So on my screen, I have 2 options. On the left, we have a attachable ring light that you pin onto your computer, and it goes just around the webcam. This will light up your face and give you a little bit of your background, the light that you need so that you're visible to your students, and it's a more personable experience. On the right-hand side, we have more of a professional ring light that you can actually attach a device to. So this one will attach a smartphone, but it's on a tripod, so you can just put it behind your desktop or your laptop or whatever you're using to teach, really. The key with the lighting is that the lighting source comes from behind your webcam. So it needs to be directly in front of you, or else it's going to create too many shadows. Next up, we have a headset or a microphone. And this is something I wasn't really willing to invest in because I already had expensive earbuds to listen to music to, but I find that it really improves your sound quality. These headsets range in price from $29.99 to $200, depending on what you're looking for. But I find that it's helpful to reduce background noise because the mic is picking up to your speech and not your pet or your family member in the background. Of course, background noise is inevitable, But if you had a microphone such as this that you just plug into your device using a USB, it would be minimized greatly because it would just focus in on your voice. The next thing that we have on this list is a second monitor, and I found this to be a total game changer. Do you ever have the problem where you're sharing a screen and you suddenly can't see your students' faces anymore? In this situation, you might not be calling on everyone to participate in the activity as you would normally do if you could see your students in a classroom. So I find that by using two screens, one for your activity and one for your students, you're really maximizing participation and engagement in your classroom because you can actively see who's listening, who's not getting it, who's not paying attention while you are doing an activity without having to flip back and forth. It's also helpful if you have some sort of LMS that you're keeping track of, or if you want to have your emails open just in case something pops up. You have so much more extra space to look at. In at number one, the most important thing to have to improve your online experience is a second camera. Now, I've included two completely different cameras here because it really just depends on your needs. Either of these will holistically improve user experience. So let's talk about the first one here. This is a document camera, and I didn't even know such a thing existed. To me, it really reminds me of the overhead projectors that everyone used to use back in the days. And I wish that I had one of these when we first transitioned to online teaching, because you can put a textbook underneath the camera and it will present it to your students like a screen share. This is fantastic if you have older materials that haven't been digitized, or if you have handouts that you know work in a tried and true sense, but you can't put them onto your computer. You can also put a piece of paper under here and start writing by hand, almost as if you were writing on a board. I've seen different versions of these also where you connect a tablet or some sort of e-writing device and you can share your screen that way as if you were writing something on the board. But I find that a document camera is much more useful because the range of activities that you can do with it. On the right, you see a device stand that's holding a smartphone, and in the back, it's holding a tablet. And I think that your smartphone or tablet cameras would be an excellent secondary camera. I know that I have used mine personally when I'm showing realia or I'm taking my class on the go, so to speak. And it just changes your environment, and your students get this more dynamic feel in a classroom. I do have some honorable mentions that didn't really make the list, but I find them quite useful in my teaching. A notebook is crucial, even if it's just to jot something down that your student said so you can look at it and go back to. You could have all the screen space in the world, but there's nothing like that motor memory of writing something down physically versus on a computer that will help you remember it and recall it later. I use a notebook to keep track of attendance. I use it to keep track of questions that come up on the go. And I find that without having a piece of paper there, it's really frustrating for me to teach. I've recently upgraded to a notebook from Post-it notes because it's also a spot where I can keep all of my notes in one place. I think something else that's quite fun are physical props. So the picture I have here are obviously catered towards more children, but I find that physical realia or different props engage students because there's something different from the norm. In a classroom, I would always have a ball that I would throw around just to kind of get the ball going, so to speak. But having little props like these kind of make students focus on something different, which could be useful. So everything that I mentioned in this video can be found online or in local retailers, and I encourage you to shop local where you can. In the description box, I will leave links to a blog post that has some more things that you can invest in, but I want to hear from you. What have you invested in that has made your transition to online teaching better for you or better for your students? Leave us a comment down below, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next video.